start this a little differently today. I just want you to think with me for a moment. When you think about that one thing you said you want to change this year, the one goal you haven't really moved on yet, what happens inside you? Don't answer it loud. You just notice it. Is it an excitement, or is it more like a pause? Or maybe a tightening in your chest? Or maybe a voice that says, let's be careful. And if you're nodding right now, yes, let me tell you, you're not alone. And by the way, if you're new here on the channel, this is Kelsang, NLP coach, and I work with professionals who are good at handling life outside, but quietly carry so much inside. And today isn't about fixing the fear. It's about understanding what it's really doing inside your life. And here's something that I've noticed, both in my work and in myself. You see, most people don't feel stuck because they don't know what to do. They feel stuck because every time they think about doing it, something inside pulls them back. Relatable? Just not enough to delay, enough to say, let's think about it more. And over time, that hesitation starts feeling personal. And then they say things like, why am I like this? Why can't I just move? But let me say this clearly and slowly. Fear showing up does not mean something is wrong with you. In fact, fear usually shows up after clarity. You don't fear things that you don't care about, right? You don't fear staying exactly where you are. Fear appears when something matters, when something is at stake, when you're close to change. So maybe fear isn't blocking you. Maybe it's signaling importance. And just notice this for yourself. Where does fear show up most for you in your life? Is it around the visibility, decision-making, relationships, taking up more space? You don't have to label it. Just notice the pattern. Now, for most of us, we've been taught one main strategy with fear. Fight it, override it, push it through. Be confident, be fearless, right? And maybe that's worked for few temporarily. But if you're watching this, chances are that you've already tried that. You've pushed, you've disciplined yourself, you've told yourself to be strong. And still, fear finds another way to sneak in through, which makes you wonder, why am I still here, right? Now, let me ask you something. Are you afraid all the time, or do you have that fear all the time? Or does fear show up in specific moments? Because that one question alone tells us something really important, that you are not fear. You experience fear sometimes, and that difference matters more than we actually realize. Now think about this. At work, you handle pressure, deadlines, responsibilities. People trust you. But when it comes to your own personal growth, asking, choosing, changing, something tightens. Same you, different moment, right? So what changed? It's not your ability. It's not even your intelligence, just the context. And here's the tricky part for you. Fear doesn't sound like fear. It sounds more like logic. It says things like, let's wait, let's be prepared. Now is not the right time. And because it sounds sensible, our mind or we follow it, not realizing that slowly and quietly fear has started deciding where it wants to take us through in our life. So let me ask you this again, very, very simply and honestly. How many choices in your life right now are being made from fear without you actually realizing it? Not the big ones, small ones though. The conversation that you keep postponing, the step that you keep delaying, the version of you who keep your task putting on hold, right? Just notice those, no judgment. And here's what I believe. Leadership isn't about not feeling fear. It's about noticing who is in charge when fear shows up. Because fear will always have an opinion. The question is, does it get a vote or the final say? So next time fear appears, and it will, I want you to try this. Pause, and instead of pushing it away, ask quietly, Are you here to protect me, or are you running my life? You see, you don't need an answer immediately. That pause alone changes your relationship with fear, because awareness creates space and space creates a choice. Most people don't need more confidence. They need self-trust, the trust that they can feel fear and still choose. Trust that discomfort does not mean danger, and the trust that growth does not require certainty. Now imagine this, moving forward this year without waiting for fear to disappear. Imagine choosing even with a shaky voice, even with uncertainty. That's maturity, that's inner leadership, that's inner work, right? And this is the kind of inner work that we explore inside our 3-day Mind Master Workshop. Not fixing you, not pushing you, but helping you understand yourself so fear no longer runs the show. So if you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And if this conversation feels like it's describing you, the link is in the description. So go ahead and register for my upcoming workshop. And thank you so much for watching this. And I want to leave you with this thought. Fear isn't your enemy, but letting fear decide that slowly shrinks a life. And you don't need to eliminate the fear. You just need to stop handling it, the steering wheel. And every time you choose, consciously, even gently, you reclaim your power. And that's how the real change begins. Thank you so much once again for taking out time and watching this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.